Okay. Welcome to Three Blondes, One Battle. Happy New Year, ladies.
Happy
Happy
New Year, everyone.
2025 has arrived. Oh, yeah. So exciting. I do feel like, so let's just look another year to kind of do better. Like I think that's why I get so excited at the beginning of every year. It's not really necessarily because Trump is coming into office, but it's because like it's a new year to kind of like I don't know, just like be a better person, discover new things, like meet new friends. Like, don't you guys feel about like that, like at the beginning of every year?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. It's a good opportunity to I always think it's a good opportunity to reflect on the previous year, see, what was hard, see what was good, see what, like you said, you could do better, or just reflect on the previous year and then going forward, like cast vision for the next year. And I don't know. I kind of I don't know how you feel about this, Nikki, since you are in coaching and you're very goal oriented. I feel like now I don't want to set myself up for failure. So okay, I'm not setting any goals that I can stop that it where they I get 2 weeks in and then you're like, oh, okay, that fell by the wayside. But moreover, just have an overall emphasis on things.
Well, you mean like setting New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I'm like,
oh, I mean, I do think, I think there's different aspects of your life, whether it's like your health, whether it's your income, whether it's your relationships, whether it's, your walk with God. I think that there's always places that you could do better and be better.
Oh yeah, right. But specific, I'm gonna drink 8, a gallon of water every day.
Yeah, I think that that's a bit extreme when people put numbers on things.
Yeah,
it's how about we just try to be healthier.
Healthy. Yeah, that's what I mean. Overall, just what areas do you want to focus in on?
Right. Yeah, because then you're not going to fail immediately. It's like the people that are like, I'm going to go to the gym every day, and then 2 weeks into it, they're like, God, I suck. I failed. I can't do it anymore. It's
and then you just stop.
Right. Well, if you would have just started out with, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym, period. Hey, then that could be twice a week.
Right.
It's up to you as long as you're going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think putting numbers on it is wise at the very beginning. If you're doing nothing and you want to do everything, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers to 2025.
Yeah. So when it comes to our MS walk, do you going into the new year, do you have any new, I don't know, new maybe supplements that you're going to try, or new when it comes to MS, have you guys thought about that? Or new, I don't know, anything new?
I think personally, it's not so much new. I've been with wellness for so long, played sports my whole life. And I think the biggest thing for me, over the holidays, you're with family, you're doing things, you're cozy. You might be going to do a few things, but not a whole lot. You're home, you're puzzle games, whatnot. And it's always a reminder to me is creating that balance, because when I'm lazy and being a bum, my body hurts because I'm not as much, right? So and you guys kind of hit on it, when you start something, it's not you can have an end goal, I want to be able, I don't know, be able to run 10 miles sometime this year, we'll say that. But when people start out, it's I need to run a mile or more every day so I can get that 10 miles. But people don't realize being able to break down those small goals. So for me, with MS, I just want to have more movement. Looking at my year last year and the year prior, I've had a lot of things going on with my MS wise, especially with my legs. there's always some type of pain level. And in my opinion, like, I feel like there's always pain. It's just understanding what that pain means. Like, what is it? And mine is just movement. Like, I just want to be able to move every single day. Like, if I get, and I'm doing it by steps. And so I set a goal like every single week, and we'll see if I get close to it or if I achieve it. But also at the same time, mentally, because, and I tell this to people, you have to write things down, because if you rely on your brain
They'll
like,
tell you.
like people like, oh, we don't want to do that. This is what your reality is. And that's not really the case. And it's just crazy. Just today, like, I decided I'm going to get on my walking pad. All I'm going to do, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes, like, on that. I'm just going to walk. That's all I'm going to do. And whatever I do throughout my day, so be it. And, school's getting back. And so I'm a little bit everywhere. The house is a little chaos. So I kind of cleaned up. And, by 11 today, I was over like 5,000 steps. And mentally, I was like, how is that? Like,
wow.
So anyways, my point is, I just want to be able to, who knows what December is going to look like, but kind of take into account every single week. Well, I had a really bad day on Monday and Tuesday, but looking at the bigger picture, I'm like, but I got in, we'll just say like 20,000 steps that whole week. Like, that's pretty good, because I was laid up for 2-3 days in bed, So, kind of taking the little wins, and then eventually, because you're going to get at that big goal. So mine's just movement. I just want to move. I just want to, because through this last year, and especially now, like, my dad's in surgery right now, and it just went to like show me, like, life is not a guarantee. Like, how you take care of yourself now, no matter if you're living with a chronic illness or not, like, you still have some kind of control in your day. And I can't imagine, like, one day, like, my leg's not working. Like, I can't imagine that. And so I'm like, every day, like, I want to be able to, like, do the things that I take for granted every single day as a blessing. Like, always remind myself that.
Yeah.
What my is, like, every single day. Just because, it's always that thought of when something does happen, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, I took for granted, like, being able to do that. And now it's like, and that relates to so many things living with MS, right? Having flare-ups, to lower, not as much mobility, to having bowel problems, and, strategically, like, okay, like, I have to do these things in order so I can do these things. And majority of people do those things, but we do, so reframing my mindset, that's like a really big thing this year.
Yeah.
Those walking pads are popular this year. I saw a lot of people like buying those.
What are they?
I've had mine for, ever since a year and a half, and I would do it here and there, but I was just consistent. But then everything of last year, I'm like, August time, I'm like, what am I doing?
How far above the ground does it sit?
Just like this much.
That much, yeah. So it wouldn't be so bad, people with balance issues, as long as it's like close to the ground. But I think for so Tara, what it is it's like it's just like this like flat thing, like it's like a walk. It's like
but it's just
it's
smaller.
But there's nothing to hold on to. You're just like walking, right? Did you get that one?
We'll get like there's like that kind of comes with it. So people, and there's like things that you can buy, but majority of it, like, it's just like as if you were just walking. Like, not like, brisk. Like,
Where did you purchase yours through Body?
Just on Amazon.
Yeah, I don't think I can get on something that's moving without my control of stopping it. I think I would fall. Like even if it's at like the lowest level. Well, maybe if it's like this low. And then maybe I could do it if it's like this, but like if it's like this, I like forget it. Like I'm like hold on, leg. So I think
Mhm.
everybody, their ability, like that may or may not be an option. I think for
Right.
me, I'm super excited. Tomorrow's my VA appointment. Bobby, you totally need to do that. Well, I don't know if your legs, if you're able to get on a treadmill, your leg, I don't know if your drop foot is as bad as mine, but
But
yeah, see, so I do. And so that right leg is just like, I just need more help with it, kind of like going. And I actually, I don't think I've ever told you guys this, but when I was a baby, like my feet, I had club feet, and so I actually had to wear braces, like Forrest
Wow.
Gump. Like I actually had to wear the braces to like kind of bring my feet back. Well, over the years with my right leg, because my right leg's always my leg, my issue, my baby is my issue. It's starting to my left leg, my left foot still sits solid, but the other one's like this. And so of course, like it makes it hard to walk when your foot isn't even like, if I lay on my back, the way that my legs kind of like sprawl out, it's like this. Like this leg will kind of go out a little bit. The top of my toes will kind of be like this. This one's all the way like this. It's bizarre.
Okay.
It goes so far out. And
Huh.
so the VA offers, I messaged my neurologist asking for this like leg brace thing that like basically it'll help like pick your foot up more when
Right.
you're walking. And he came back and he said, no, you don't want something. So it was almost like a sleeve. He's like, you don't want something that like you have to wear like a sleeve. He goes, we've had a partnership with, I think it's called Bioness. We've had a partnership with them for 10, and I was like, 10 years, dude, like, why didn't you tell me about this? Like, so yeah. So I have my consult with the physical therapist. They called me today to remind me, but yeah, she's like, we're so excited to fit you and see if this helps your walking. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's exciting. That's great that that's a good resource through the VA. And I bet if there's other people that aren't affiliated with VA, I wonder, like MS centers typically have, I wonder if they would have it, but that's a great.
Probably it's a partnership. Well, so the lady's like, I'm with the company, but we partner with the VA. And so we come here once a month to fit. Usually she said it's MS, Parkinson's, and stroke
Huh.
are like their biggest clients.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited because if I could get that right leg moving, I could start walking again. But it's just slow as molasses. And I'm just like, oh, so,
Oh, I like that you're set. I like that you're doing that in the new year. That's a good idea. I mean, I always feel like, how's the fitness going with.
yeah, it's fantastic. Optimal body. Yeah, so those workouts are great. I consistently do it every day. Obviously there's days off, but I follow the program day after day. However, I did do the paid version, so I am paying a lot of money every month. So if I don't do it, I'm like, geez, Nikki, like it's the guilt of like having to pay. It's kind of like you're not going to buy hundreds of dollars worth of nutrition food and not do the nutrition program because you just
Right.
paid. But I'm locked in because I did an actual contract for 12 months. And so I just would never not do it. Whereas if it was free, I mean, my God, I've known about his program for like 8 years and I never did it. So,
Well,
it
that's
was
a positive though. That's kind of like, it's like your accountability partner in money.
sure. Yes. Yeah. Like the guilt of you've already spent this money. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And I
great.
do think that it's connecting the neurons a little bit more. I do think that I had my like 3-month follow-up with David, and he said, are you noticing any difference in your walking? And I said, well, it goes longer. Like I'll have like a good leg day for like 2 weeks solid, or maybe 3 weeks, and then it'll be crappy. But I've never had such a great like kind of break in the crappy versus the good leg days. So I mean, I think it's connecting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Huh. You're
Yeah.
seeing the benefits. You're seeing progress.
Yeah, for sure. For something so simple. I mean, it's actually not that difficult. And you're not really doing that much. It's just a lot of thinking when you're doing the movement. You have to
Yeah, 'cause
really,
you're retraining those neurons, right? You're retraining how your brain.
yeah, like it's
Yeah.
quiet. You don't listen to music. Gone are the days that I listen to music when I work out. Like that's just not a thing. I have to think about what I'm doing and what muscles I'm working. So that's the hardest part of it, is just being quiet.
Oh, huh.
which is
That would
always,
be a hard thing for you, Nikki.
which has always been my issue.
Oh.
But yeah, what do you guys have like?
Yeah, so I as far as MS, well, what's so interesting too is I in wintertime I struggle with my MS. In fact, I feel like I'm right now. I can always just tell, like if I am having flares or just my MS is like inflamed, I can totally tell, and and that's happening right now. So I'm kind of like trying to stay ahead of it just by I'm like, all right, I'm probably because it's winter, because winter always does havoc on my body and extra stress right now with Mike being unemployed. But my thing was just like moving my body more this year, because I feel like I did a horrible job last year since I got this job, and I have a more sedentary lifestyle with, I'm just used to with the past, with all my kids, I'm always moving, I always was moving, doing things, walking. And this past year is just, I think it's really hurt my body just sitting down so much. My hips are always tight. My hamstrings are always tight. I'm not making enough time to work out. So I did, just assess like, okay, I'm going to make this a healthy year, and my eating's fine. So I'm not like, I feel like how you said, like, look at where I'm like I totally eat good. And like you said, nutrition, you're just used to doing those things. Those are like second nature. But I will say my fitness level, my like using my body has fallen off. So I need to
Maybe get one of the things Bobby has, because I know you have no problem walking.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, but I do have motion issues. So I'm like, would that bother me? Like, I don't know.
Oh, you're like middle ear, or maybe like what's it called that you get, the headache?
Well, I get vertigo, but I get vertigo, and I just have and my body's very sensitive to motion. Like when I'm not in control of the motion, or when I don't know. I would have to. So that was my initial thought when you were talking about that, Bobby. But I might have to do some research on it, and look at it, like get a visual,
Speaking of your vertigo, have you guys, probably not Bobby, her kids are too young, have you ever put the VR on your eyes?
Oh, I would never.
Listen, so he got one of those. I did not. My boyfriend bought it for him for Christmas. And so he was like so loud upstairs. He plays those car games, and so I could hear him shifting and like, the pedal, like, because my floor, like I live in a 1960 home. And I was like, oh my gosh, stop. And so at one point I turned off the internet and he's like, where are you going? I could hear him. It was so funny. He's like, guys, where'd everyone go? And I was like dying laughing. And so then finally, like, he answered his phone. He's like, I was like, huh, so weird. Everybody all left you, huh? I turned off the internet, dork. Like, you're being too loud. And he goes, come see what I'm doing. So I was like, I don't know if I can do this, Dylan, because I already like playing the video game like itself just on the screen sort of like is uncomfortable, like eye-wise. But he's like, no, you got it. You got to put it on your eyes. So you put it on your eyes, and it's like you're in the car, but you're still using the wheel and using the foot pedal. It lasted for maybe 5 seconds. I thought I was going to throw up. I took it off and I was like, oh my, like that. I don't know why. I felt so dizzy. Like it was the worst experience. I was like, Dylan, I don't think this is good for you. And then like, it's like, oh, my mom's freaking out now. I should have never had you put it on your face. But like, and then I started like, Googling it and like, oh my God, it's like hurting his hippocampus or like whatever it's called. But like, I don't think that's very healthy, and especially not for people.
I think for people that are healthy and probably aren't bothered by, I think it probably would be fine. I mean, it'd probably, I guess maybe not in moderation, but I think for people with MS that struggle with motion or like, no, it messes with.
You would want to die with that on your face. So never do that.
Yeah.
Moral of the story: if you have MS and deal with vertigo, do not put VR on your face.
Know oneself, know thyself. Oh,
yeah. Well,
Bobby, have you ever tried? Would you be bothered by that?
I've done it once. My dad got it for like the whole family like Christmas because you can do it virtual, like play against each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've done it and I didn't last. Like I just saw it and I just took it off just because like I had my optic neuritis, so and then deal with vertigo. So
Right.
I was pretty for a second. And plus anyways, like I've always been motion sickness like since I was little. So
Yeah.
I can't even like do Ferris wheels. Like
No, me
No,
neither.
I can't either. No,
No.
there's got to be a study. I mean, I guarantee you that's our MS.
I can't even swing on a swing.
I can't anymore either.
Mm-mm.
Why does that affect? It's so interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
In our brain, we're just special. We're all
or boring to our kids. Special or
oh yeah, for sure, totally boring.
Not fun.
Whatever.
Yeah, my kids use every opportunity. Like, oh, mom, you're like we were going to church and my husband was talking to my kids about like, driving, how you drive in the snow, but then like how to control when you're, your backside is kind of fishing out or whatever. And we got into the parking lot and he like did a little, and I was like, oh, like, dude, yeah. I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, no extreme motion for mom, but I'm like, exactly. I'm like, you're even lucky I'm letting you drive today. Like, do not do that while I'm in the car.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's definitely an MS thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
But
anyways, but I think with people, with everyone that has MS listening to us, I think it's always good to like just let's look at what's going on with our bodies, how we can help our bodies in the new year, just that we're talking about 2025, like if you aren't doing nutrition, or if you're seeing maybe your MS you feel like is not doing well or something, just take a look at that and see what you can do to maybe do one thing to make you feel like, okay, this is going to help me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I over the break, I always forget if I forget to take that pumpkin seed oil, man. My pee, I'm telling you, I know I talk about this all the time, but there's a lot of people that manage like bladder issues, and like my pee stream will be like 4 seconds, and I went and I went on for days, and I'm like, what is wrong with my? Oh, like, oh crap! I stopped taking my. So yeah, that pumpkin seed oil, man. When I don't do it, I don't pee. Like. That pumpkin seed oil is magic. And then, that Inno cleanse. Have you guys ever seen the ads? And now, because we're saying it, it's going to be all over you guys' ad feed, maybe. But that Inno cleanse, have you seen that Facebook ad for it?
No.
Okay, the fact that you can't do it more than 21 days in a row says something. But that if you're constipated, that Inno cleanse, like we're talking.
Is it like a pill or a tea or in
yeah,
water?
it's 2 pills and it's like all these herbs, like it's all these like herbs, but whoa, like yeah. So if you're listening, and you're like, I deal with constipation, maybe look into Inno cleanse, or Dr. Schultz's has that intestinal formula, that stuff. So there you go. There's your pee and poop, like 2025 like info.
I don't know if we can end on that. I don't know if we can end on that, Nikki.
I don't know. Maybe you guys should talk about something other than that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Or we just end on that.
Or we just end on that. Bobby, any last thoughts? Any last 2025 thoughts?
On 2025. Just start adding new things. Like, don't think, oh, I need to do all this. And like, I want to be at this point. And just start adding things. Like, just look at your day. What can you change? What can you add? What can you take out? And and if you can do a little more, do a little more. And because I bet anything before you know it, 6 months, you'll be living a whole different daily life if you do. And I think what we get consumed by, because we're looking at what everybody is doing, but you have to remember everybody's not showing everything on social media. Everybody's not saying, from a doctor's office. Like, it's just highlights. So just do simple work, simple actions. That's it.
Yeah. And maybe set your alarm at the beginning on your phone. If you want to add something in every day, it's really hard to remember. So if you have our MS brain, we struggle even more remembering things. So maybe set your alarm on your phone, and like you can label it, like label the alarm. So when it goes off, you're like, I don't know what the hell that alarm was for. We'll label it, right? That's my tip when you're starting new things.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, ladies.
All right,
well,
ladies.
Thank you all for joining us. You can find us on iTunes and Spotify. Hit the subscribe. It helps spread our podcast further to those that manage MS.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye, ladies. Bye.
Bye.